Hello, my name's Mark Evans. I'm here at No Limits this weekend at Anglesey for round 3. Started racing last year in the Newcomer 600 and then progressed up into the Cup 600 this year. So I want to put this together to give people the idea of what the difference is between track day riding and then also when you come racing, what's involved, just so people can actually know what's going to happen, because last year when we came into this it was such a shock. Massive learning curve of what did you have to do the weeks before the racing, i.e. bike prepping, the cost of it all, which is a massive one. Different people are saying it's different costs. So I want to break it all down for you and just basically put a little video together of what actually goes into racing at No Limits. So what you're finding is that racing is slightly different. You've actually got to look at your lines, etc. when you're going through. I've had a bit of tuition from not so fast, Gary Walton. And I've had about 3 or 4 sessions with him now, once over in Spain and a couple in the UK, and he basically explains to you what the track gives you, what you should be looking for. There's markers everywhere. It's surprising that when you actually start racing, how things slow down. Pit boards coming out, you can actually read them nice and steady. And what we'll actually do now is we'll look at different marks on the tarmac. Everything slows down when you're getting faster and faster, especially when you've had 3 days on track. So we're just looking now, we're going through with the guys now, just look at the track, find out the best lines to take, what gear you should be in, where your body position should be, and just following the track round. And it's surprising, just by walking the track, you can actually see different things. Before walking the track, this corner looks quite flat. You can actually see this corner now, it's got a really good embankment on it. And this is the idea why I've came with these guys this week. I've signed up for the full season with them. It's a small cost. They give us a lot of support. Tyre changing, which is very crucial really, because we're not too bad here at Anglesey this weekend. It's glorious sunshine. So really easy on the tyres, even though the track is quite aggressive. We'll go through maybe 1 front, 2 rears. It's when it's mixed conditions. I've had it where the bike's been on the paddock stands, we're going out within 10 minutes and we decided, is it wet, is it dry tyre, is it an intermediate tyre? And to actually put the tyres in yourself, get ready and go, very stressful on your own. A lot of people have their friends and family here every weekend. Me, I pay for this support. It makes it a little bit easier for me. We get the added benefit of walking the track as well. We want to talk about now the cost of racing. What does it all entail and what is it all about? So a couple of things you've got to look at is, first of all, you get your bike, right? Race fairings on it. And everyone thinks, oh yeah, I've got a track day bike, let's go racing. It's not that easy. A couple of different things you've got to put on. We always put a brake guard on, that's mandatory, you're going to have. And then you're also looking at putting the casings on as well, casing covers. You've got to put the casing covers on because it goes through shooting and hearing. They're going to check the bike over, and then you've got a rain light as well. Then you've got to look at your wheels. You need 2 sets. And that's the full wheel with the disc, front and back. So you need a set for your dry and a set for your wets, because you never know what the weather's going to be in the UK. You look at prepping your bike, suspension. I'm quite lucky, I have a guy called TW Suspension up in near Preston. TW, we're good friends, he does some suspension for me, and he'll charge me for the full price for the suspension service. But of a race weekend, when I'm here and the bike's not handling like I should, I'm on the phone to him and he's also giving me support all the time, and that's free of charge by TW Suspension. Really, really nice lad. The suspension goes off and gets serviced twice a year. And you're thinking, why are you servicing with suspension twice a year? I've got a track day bike and I never service with suspension. It's because we're putting that much load for the suspension and you're running that much faster. Now, an example of that one, I was here at Anglesey just about a couple of weeks ago. Come down just have a bit of a test day on a No Limits track day, and I was in a fast group and I was running about the second or the third fastest here. I was running about 70% pace, just picking up lines. Everybody was walking past going, oh my god mate, you're so fast. And I was like, I'm not even trying today, because the difference between being fast on a track day and then being fast at racing is completely different, they're worlds apart. You've got to be on that boil straight away. Why do we do it? People say to me, you spend so much money in going racing, why? And when I say such money, it is a lot of money. Let's break this down. £800 if you're doing it cheap. If you want to run from middle to top of the pack, you're looking between 1,000 to 1,200 quid. I know some lads here are spending nearly £1,500 a weekend, but they are really at the top of the game. You've got to look at putting fuel in the van, getting the van up here. You've got two options. You can either sleep in the back of your van, tow a caravan, or be a big posh motorhome. You've got to prep the bike. And when it's about prepping the bike, it's after a race weekend, you're taking the bike home, stripping it all down, checking the bike all over. How often would you change the oil? Dead simple. After every race weekend, oil and filter, guaranteed, no matter what. This engine here on the Triumph, 1,000 mile for a rebuild. So that'll get me about 6 rounds, 7 rounds, and it'll have to go for a rebuild. So I'm looking at a rebuild before the last 2 rounds of this year. Rebuild on the engine's £2.5 grand. But then you've also got tyres. We burn through tyres like you wouldn't believe. We're doing 30 laps on a set of tyres if you want to be mid-pack. We then, brand new set of tyres, 30 laps, we'll then sink them to one side, get another set off. So a set of tyres will last you 1 qualifying session, 3 races. Your last race, you either then go and get another set of tyres, or what you can do, try and keep the cost down a bit, is you go and see some of the fast lads and ask them for a set of their tyres. They're then selling the tyres to you, maybe done 10, 15 laps on, just done 1 race, you're buying a set of tyres off them for 100 quid. Then you've got your food, you've also got entrance fees, and this year I've gone through a company just to try and take the stress of it all off me, called Track Pep Racing. Right, these guys are here. Ash is a brilliant mechanic, and it just takes so much stress off me. All I then do is pull up, as you can see, bike comes into the Hornham. Right, we've got a number of bikes down here. There's actually 4 of us in the tent this weekend, and we just turn up. The bikes come here, and they're on full mechanics. Tyre warmers are on. They'll also dip the fuel, check the fuel, make sure I've got the right litres of fuel in. They just prep the whole bike, takes the stress out of it. Ash is a brilliant guy, charges me £200 for the weekend. Now this weekend in Anglesey, it's a 3-day event. Test day was Friday, racing Saturday, racing Sunday. In total I've got 4 races, £200 I think is good money well spent, because all I then do is put my levers on, put my crash shot on, psych myself up and go out. I come back in straight away, tell the guys exactly what's wrong with the bike. Another thing is then, at the weekend we're all here, it's a good social event, and that's one of the things that gets you into the racing. So Wednesday before racing, you're prepping your bike, making sure the trailer's all packed up, all ready, excited. You're waking up Thursday morning, going to work. Thursday night you're coming home, you've got the butterflies in your stomach, really unbelievable, all buzzing inside you. You're in the van, you're coming down to the track, you get here for the Friday. And then Friday comes, you set up, have a few beers, it's a social event, a lot of people here with their friends, family and children. We all camp up, barbecues are on, and we just have a good laugh, and that's what it's all about. Test day comes on Friday, then you've got racing Saturday, and then racing Sunday. They run a massive club at No Limits, and I fully enjoy it. There's a lot of other people out here enjoy it, and when we're out racing, it's a good battle. But also as well, there's the other side of it. On edge, big massive pile up on turn 1 then, but on the grid at first, lights went out, bike went off, beautiful start. I was in 7th, got about 9th minute into the first corner, got into the second, red flags come out, we saw everybody coming across the grass. Big massive pile up on turn 1. So we've got one of the guys in the garage now missing, so emotions all over the place now. Excitement, but also disappointment, hoping he's okay, fingers crossed. And we're just on a waiting point now of finding out what's going to happen. There's been a few accidents, and a few of my friends as well. I've nipped off to the hospital. So a couple of things where I do myself, I actually wear the Danny's airbag suit. Yes, they are expensive. They're budgeting between £1,400, £1,600 for your suit. I had 8 crashes last year, but yet I never had a day off work, because the airbag suit does protect you, and that's where I've got to look at it, is I've got to go to work on a Monday morning. Now, does that actually make me go any slower? No, because I'm a man, still a racer, and you still go out there full chat, full speed, and you try and get as best result as you can, and that's what it's all about. So why do we race? Well, it's nerves, excitement, everything else that goes with it. You get on that grid and you are not going to feel anything like it in your entire life. You're on that grid, the lady at the very end, the grid's holding the red flag up, She's signalling to the back of the grid, are we all ready to go? She walks off, lights go to red, and your heart rate goes pounding. I cannot explain to you what that feels like. Your heart is absolutely buzzing. You sat on the grid, heart buzzing away, lights go out and you are off. Into the first corner, nice and easy, into the second, on the gas, and that's it. That's when the fun starts. And it's a battle. People think, oh yeah, you got quite close on a track day. Nah, you've not. Racing you do. Arms touching each other, fairings rubbing each other, and you do get close. Sometimes you just shove up the inside of someone to make a pass. You actually do sometimes collide with each other. You do sometimes knock each other off. I've actually knocked friends off, and straight away hand up thinking, oh my God, but you've got to still be on the full chat on the gas. And then later on that evening, you're going to him saying, sorry mate, I really didn't mean it. And it's racing, have a beer. Sometimes you have a bit of an argument as well. Yeah, never known anybody to have a punch up over it, but there's a beer solves everything at the end of the day.
Yeah, highs and lows of racing, I'm afraid, but race 1 and 2, absolutely brilliant. Two fifths this weekend, that was great. Race 3, a little bit bogged down off the start, so settled in onto lap 1. Lap 2, pushing on a little bit more. Went through Church, which was a big long sweeping right-hander. Got past one of the lads on there, absolutely brilliant. And as I'm running up to Rocket, on the brakes, went in a little bit faster than normal, just on the front wheel a little bit, and one of the lads, I decided to take an inside line just because I just passed someone to put a bit of a block pass on, and the lad in front of me took a wider line and sweeped him. As he done that, just put the front wheel. And when it's back wheel against front wheel, you're coming off. And that was it. Over the bike, skidding along, stood up, air seat had gone off, one of them things, and with the lads now at Trap Racing, they're just going to sort the bike out now. Yeah, so the fairings are off, bike's being fully stripped down, and I'll get the report off the lads in about 5-10 minutes. And this is one of the reasons, it's the highs and lows of racing. So 2 fifths and a crash, but the lads here at Trap Racing, absolutely spot on. Is the fact that they're on it now for me. So it's one of the things why I use them here is so that I don't get stressed out, because normally I'd have 1 hour now to turn the bike around. I can now just sit back, relax, they work on the bike. Now a lot of lads who are here in the paddock, they've got friends who are mechanics, family members, they do all that for them, but I don't have that facility. And I've just got the report coming through now. Is it going to be good, lads?
Have you got another one in there?
No, I've not got another one of them.
You need to find another one in there. So where that crash fit has come down,
Yeah.
just twisted the head slightly. It's now not sitting flat against the seal.
Okay.
That's the one that has the cam cover, if you
Is it?
for want of a better word, cam chain cover on the right.
Okay. So we need one of them. So we have to go on the paddock now and find one.
Yes.
Okay, so that's it. That's racing. Hopefully, there's one of the lads in No Limits and actually jump on now for me and help me out. And it's a matter of just going around now and begging parts of people. So, have a nice time. Take it from here.